The family of a local teenager says she never would have left home without calling.
Just praying for the best. I want my daughter home, man. And if she can't come home, I just want to know where she's at.
These posters around the towns of Livermore and Jay beg anyone with information to come forward. Posters that Richard puts up every spring, never losing hope.
Tell me what happened to my daughter. Just look me in the eyes so I can see her.
An arrest in a nearly 4-decade-old cold case. Thanks to cutting-edge DNA technology, the arrest happening exactly 39 years to the day.
When Parabon Nanolabs used that sample to create 3D models of the suspected killer's face.
It's heartbreaking. We miss her, and we're going to find her. We're going to keep looking till we do.
It's like a never-ending nightmare. It doesn't end. It keeps returning and coming back.
What if I told you a 37-year-old woman disappears on July 31st, 2018, and then is found just 3 weeks later? What if I said the person who left her on the side of the road is the one who brought police to her location, and yet he's never been charged with a thing? This is the unbelievable story of Elizabeth Perkins and a family who seeks justice. So tonight I'm joined by Ann Perkins. She is the mother of Liz Perkins, who went missing July 31st, 2018, and then she was found August 23rd, 2018. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, Ann, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give us a little background of who Liz is? You know, the stuff that you don't see in the newspaper and the articles and things. Can you tell us about Liz?
She's a very, what do you call it? She's a vivacious person. She's happy all the time. She's very helpful to other people. She's, oh God. She's caring. She's loving. She cares about other people. She helps other people. She was always good in school. She had a lot of friends.
And what was her home life like?
Her home life? Well, she was married with 2 children.
Tell me about her childhood and, you know, her relationship with her siblings. And now, was she the oldest?
Yeah. Yeah, she was the oldest. She was funny. She's cute. She's a kid. She was always happy in school. I never had any problems with her schoolwork or anything. She had a lot of friends in school. She loved cheering. That was her passion in school, was cheering.
So she was a cheerleader and she graduated from Waterville?
Yes. Yeah. And a very well artist, too.
What's that? I'm sorry.
And an artist. She likes artists, and plus she does a lot of, did a lot of creative writing.
Creative writing.
Yeah, she loved to create. Yeah, she loves to write all the time.
So was she writing like stories that she made up?
She made a lot of short stories. Yes, she's done a couple of school newspaper ads, not ads, but school paper writing.
Now I saw that she had gone to school at one point for psychology. What got her involved with that?
Oh, what was it she said one day to me? She said that she wanted to help other people, I guess. Addiction. I think that was about it. I really don't know exactly what inspired her to do that. She just wanted to help other people.
So she went to UMA for that?
She did some, yes, there, and she went through an online program. I can't remember the online program. Do you have that? University of Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then was she also studying to be a paralegal as well?
Yes, she did. She was sick and tired of people going to school, going to jail on petty crimes.
Yep.
because of their addiction, they end up staying there longer than necessary because of the petty crimes they do.
Oh, it's awful. Just any day you read the paper, you see these stories of good people that go down the wrong path and then get involved with the wrong people, and unfortunate things happen to them. My wife is actually a drug and alcohol counselor, and I worked at the same behavioral health company that she worked at for over a year. And there's so many good people. It's sad that the good people are the ones that are
It's the shaft.
get the shaft. They're getting addicted. They're losing everything. And meanwhile, the bad people are the ones making all the money off it and screwing these people over. So she was married at the time she disappeared?
Yes, she was married. Actually, her name is Liz Munster. She was in the process of a divorce with her husband at the time.
Okay.
So she took her name back.
So I guess tell us about July 2018 and what happened. I read that you guys had seen her last at a park or something prior to.
Park. The last time I saw her was at a park, on North Street in Augusta, Maine, and I gave her her birthday gift. We said a few words, and she had to go. That was the last time I saw her. Gave her a hug and a kiss, and told each other we loved each other, and that was the last time I saw her.
I actually used to live right near that park, so very familiar with it.
Mm.
And now that was like about a week before she was last seen?
Yeah, I think, no, we saw her.
Oh, okay.
We saw her on the 29th. Somebody else saw her last on the 31st.
Now, who was that person that saw her last? Do you mind saying?
I really don't know. Jen, her daughter, spoke to her last on the 31st.
Okay. Wow. So, what have you guys pieced together on that timeline of the 31st? I remember reading the paper when she first disappeared. There was a call out publicly to help find her. Hey, how do you feel like the police department did as far as taking the report seriously and the things that they followed through on?
Well, at first they didn't take it very seriously. They wanted me to wait another 24 hours. I said, no, we ain't waiting another 24 hours because my kids and myself, we contact each other every day. If not every other day, it's every day. For 2 days, we have not spoken to Liz. And her daughter, Jen, was really, really scared. She said something needs to be done. She just had that feeling. And I tried to comfort her and let her know, it's okay. Just give her a few more hours. And hours went by, and I went to the police department.
Now, she has 2 children, correct?
Liz does, yes.
Yeah. And how old are they?
Jen's 20. How old are you?
How old are you, Jen?
She's 24. Chase will be 21 in October.
Okay. So no one had heard from Liz for a couple days. You report to Waterville PD, I presume, or is it Augusta?
Right,
Augusta. So at what point did they start taking it seriously? Was it a few days later, or?
I don't know. I'd say about a day later. Detective, what's his name? So a day later.
August 3rd, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, August 3rd.
August 3rd was when they met with us.
Okay. And had you gotten any tips at that point, like where to search and where to look for her?
We did not. We put out posters. We put Facebook posts of her missing for days, 3 weeks.
We had like 1,000 pictures of her made up with missing put on the bottom.
Wow.
And we put them from Rochester, New York, to New York City, to Northern Maine, to Belfast, Ellsworth, and we scoured in between ourselves and put a bunch of them out ourselves.
Now it's interesting that you mentioned Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ties just in Augusta area and Waterville area to Rochester, right?
That's
These
how
guys
we
coming
got
up here.
it. Somebody just mentioned it to us. We were in Pittsfield. We had got a lead up towards Heartland area. And we went into Rennie's. And two ladies heard us talking about it, and they asked, well, geez, we're going to Rochester, New York. Can we take some of your posters and put them on there? And that's how we got to Rochester, New York, by these two ladies in the store.
Yeah.
A lot of people were very helpful.
Yeah. So I was gonna bring this up later, but since we're on the topic of Rochester and all, do you know if there's any ties to Meg Gregory's case with Liz's case? I've heard that a lot.
I don't know. I think Liz and Meg knows each other, but I don't think they know each other personally. They probably had ties with the same people.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a few days later now. You've gone up to Heartland, you said. When's the first time you felt like you had a productive lead?
We never really got a protection lead, really. No, I don't think we did until they put a piece in the paper about a body found on the road. I freaked out.
Did they contact you at all, or is it in the newspaper first?
It was in.
It went this way. We had actually been on the news with Channel 8 News. One of the reporters came here, and they did a story on it. And that was somewheres within a week or so of before we found her. And then a body was found on the Weeks Mills Road, which was on the 23rd. Yeah. Was not identified as Liz until 2 weeks later.
Yeah, because they had to come and give me a swab.
Right, so my point is, like, why wouldn't Augusta PD notify you guys, knowing that you're looking for your daughter? They must have known as a female they had found. They should be talking to relatives of missing people in the area before they just have it go on the news. So
I think what happened was that I think that when the call came in to them, because they found her on a Thursday,
mm-hmm.
and everybody knew Friday. And that's when they came and took a swab from Ann, because nobody knew it was Liz. But they came on Friday and took a swab from Ann, saying, look, we found this, and they came here, they took a swab from her. And then they brought it to Augusta to the forensics place. And then it took them about a week and a half to 2 weeks before we knew, when they came back and told Ann that it was Liz.
Yeah.
That's how long it took. But they didn't know it because she was so decomposed.
And they couldn't tell if she did drugs or not.
So who found her? Was it the police department that actually found her, or was it a civilian that had?
No, what happened was they got a phone call. No, I believe what happened. They knew who it was. For some reason, they knew who it was because her messenger had everything on there that they needed to know. So they got that person and asked questions. Yeah.
But I guess
But he didn't.
No, I was wondering who actually found her though. On the Wings Mill Road. The detectives found her.
Yes.
So what led them to that area? Do you know?
Person that I believe is the person that put her there. Because they were investigating where Liz was.
So
Like
upon
that.
interviewing this person, he directed them to that area?
Yeah, yes. With a little coaching.
Travis, can we back up a step?
Yes.
A step goes here.
Yeah.
Jen is on the phone, which is Liz's daughter, and she hears what you're saying, she hears what I'm saying. Jen actually had some way of getting her, because they didn't have Liz's phone. Jen had a way that they got into what Liz had done on her phone, on Jen's phone, I believe, right, Jen?
His messenger.
From Messenger.
What I did was I went on her Gmail, and on your Gmail is where it pings where you've been. So I knew where she was, what house she was in, and everything up to the moment that her phone went dead. So I tracked her from her phone, from her Gmail.
Was her phone with her when they found her?
I tracked her up until Weeks Mills Road.
At one,
But I'm not sure if her phone was found with her or not.
no, it wasn't. They don't have her phone.
So her phone's never been located?
The guy's house that she was staying at was off the Weeks Mills Road, right?
He's off of 105.
What was your question, Travis?
I was just asking if they'd ever found her phone, which sounds like they didn't. So the gentleman that's involved, without saying a name, was it a boyfriend of hers, or was...
No, it's an acquaintance from a few years ago, or 2017. I have a lot of messengers about with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screenshots. I'm sorry, I have a lot of screenshots. The night that she went missing, her and this individual were texting back and forth. He was supposed to pick her up, and I believe he picked her up about 8:26 that evening of July 31st at a mutual friend of theirs.
Did the mutual friend say that he had picked her up there too?
Yes, he said he picked her up. He admitted partying with her all night. July 31st, well, actually before July 31st, because it was July 6th, they contacted each other. I guess they saw each other at the store around probably 6 or 7. Anyway, they saw each other at the store, and then they were talking about meeting up again, doing something. He thought that was cool, yeah, whatever, and he admitted to saving a quarter for them to party with.
Just to step back a little bit, you guys were aware that Liz had been involved with drugs, right? And she was trying to become sober. How many times had she attempted a life of sobriety?
She tried at least 4 or 5 different times. She's tried different methods, and nothing seemed to work. Either she didn't have the money for treatments, or she just ended up in prison.
Yeah. And it doesn't make her a bad person at all. Like,
No.
Why I asked you about the police department if they took it seriously. I feel like a lot of these cases that we cover, if there's someone that's an addict involved, I feel like they give a shit. You know, they could give a shit. They don't care as much.
I'm beginning to feel that myself, but I have to look on the other side too. The detective that worked with us, he was really good.
Good.
I have to give him credit. He's worked good, and he has really come forward and answered every one of our questions.
Let's start back to the day she was found. Detectives were pointed there because of the acquaintance that she had been messaging with and apparently had been hanging out with. In fact, he admitted that he was with her that night.
Right.
Now, did he say that he dropped her off in that area, or did he say he dropped her off at someone's house? What was his story?
First, it was dropped off back at the house that he picked her up at the night prior. On July 31st? Yeah, July 31st. He took her back to the house.
He said, in the beginning, 2 detectives that he had dropped her back off on Mount Vernon Avenue. Okay. Well, come to find out, he admitted to the police department, to the detective, I should say, that he had dropped her off somewhere else, and he actually brought the detective there on the day that she was found.
But she had coached into telling them where she was, because he wasn't going to say anything. For 3 weeks, he left her out there while we were out there looking for her. And he knew all along where she was.
So now his story is that he dropped her off in that spot and she was alive and well. And he drove home.
Didn't say whether she was alive and well or not. Just said he put her there.
Those were his words. He put her there.
To the detective. And he brought the detective there and showed him right where she was.
So what the hell is the issue? Why is this man not charged?
Because there is no crime in the state of Maine that protects anybody that gets thrown on the side of the road. There's no law in the state of Maine.
Illegal disposal of a body?
Right. It is a misdemeanor charge. He would get a litter bug charge, $1,000 fine, jail time, if any.
That's how it was done.
I'm frustrated for you all. I gotta say, this is absolutely ridiculous.
I cry myself to sleep at night because he gets to walk free. No consequences or nothing. And if he does get charged, it's only like I said, it's a misdemeanor charge. But if they...
And this is why they haven't, Travis. I'm going to go in because this is why they haven't charged him with anything.
Right.
Or them, because they don't know if it was them or just him.
Maybe daddy.
But this is our own thoughts. Because they want to be able to get him for something higher.
Absolutely.
Or him lead them to somebody higher. That's what their excuse was of not charging him with the disposal of a corpse on the side of the road.
So,
they can't back to charge him.
right. So, he told the detective he put her there. The detective never asked if she was still alive at that point. I mean, I'm sure they did, but you may not have access to that.
We don't have that proof.
No.
No, because it also said that he has history with Liz. He knows Liz very well. And he had history with her.
Who?
The detective.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure he kind of already had a feeling that he was going to find her not alive. So
I don't know.
by the sounds of him, the way he was speaking to us, I
Mm-hmm.
But feeling don't go with fact.
Right. I'm just baffled. Sounds like they were close to getting him to maybe admit something more, huh?
Yeah. I wish.
So they find her body. Do you have access to the autopsy report?
Have it right here in the drawer.
Yeah.
Now, what does that state? They couldn't determine a cause of death, correct?
Correct.
Right. The body was too decomposed for them to do any testing, anything. It was all dry.
But there was no fractures or anything like that they could see.
No.
None.
You had mentioned that he had said something about he had a quarter for her or whatever. What are you talking about? Is that cocaine or what was?
It's a drug. I don't know if it's a quarter gram or
Whether it was
quarter
heroin or what, we
heroin.
don't know.
Okay.
But this guy is well known to the Augusta Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
I get that from his background. He's had.
You'll have to give me his name off the record here after we get off the phone here if you want.
He was picked up May 9th for violation of condition of release, unlawful furnishing of scheduled drug, fentanyl, unlawful possession of scheduled drugs, cocaine base, that means, possession of hypodermic aspiratic. There we go, thank you. And sale and use of drug paraphernalia and unlawful possession of scheduled drug, Suboxone. That was in May 2021. And he was out July 4th, celebrating the 4th.
Jeez.
would think somebody like that would be in jail, right? Liz would have gotten 9 months right off the top.
Travis, you said you wanted in the end of this, you wanted a name. What name did you want?
That guy's the guy that left her there. If you could, even if you want to send through Messenger or something to me, that's fine. I just want to run a background on him too, to see how much else he's got on him.
And then there's another one he's got picked up for guns.
So clearly this guy is not an outstanding individual. Was
No,
he?
I don't think so. He's been, his family, apparently, from what I was told, his family name is well known in the Augusta area. And I guess they're well liked. His father's well liked.
Oh, well, we'll take care of him then.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I'm so sarcastic about that. Like, that just drives me bonkers.
It's terrible. And I believe his father helped him put my daughter there because they partied at his house that night. That's exactly what happened. He picked her up at a friend's house July 31st around 8:30, I think it was. And they went back to his house, Daddy's house, his house, another house. They partied all night. And as soon as, I believe what had happened, she overdosed there at the house. See, I have two scenarios of what might have happened, but this is one of them. That they put her in Daddy's truck. He took her to Weeks Mills Road and dropped her off there.
Now, did they ever do a search warrant of the house or any of the vehicles?
I don't know personally, but I was told by a certain individual that they did search his truck.
And found apparently no evidence of anything wrong.
I don't know.
Now, is Liz's case considered a closed case?
No, this is still an ongoing case. It's still open. Because I just asked the detective not too long ago, is this case closed or what? No, it's still an ongoing case.
So what are they classifying it as?
Undetermined.
Yeah, that's it. Undetermined death. Yeah, because that's what the death certificate said.
All right, so they probably wouldn't give you the records then for that.
No. But, I don't know, but anyway, they took her and they dropped her, and he left her there for 3 weeks. And he's been bragging to this woman, bragging to that woman. And it's hearsay now. Cops can't do anything because it's all hearsay. They won't hold up in court.
Have you tried to reach out to him and talk to him?
The individual?
Yeah.
No. It would not be good. Excuse me, it wouldn't be very pretty. Let's put it that way. But no, I want to stay clear. But I will say this, though. If I ever see him in public, I will make an ass of him.
I don't blame you.
I mean, if you're going to walk free, I'm going to make an ass of him.
And I don't know, like I feel like he's a bad guy anyway, but if it was an accident, why not tell somebody, and why not, admit to what happened? Yeah, you'll get a year in jail or something for drugs or whatever, but
yeah,
give your family closure and at least know what happened, and if it was an overdose or something like that.
Travis, can I interrupt you?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm looking at the death certificate, and it says, immediate cause of death pending further studies.
And that's 3 years old now? 4?
This is more than 3 years old,
over
yes.
3 years now.
That's what it says right here in my hand.
But they changed the death certificate now to undetermined.
When's the last time that you spoke to the detective on your daughter's case?
January 6th. January 6th.
Hopefully you can handle this question too, but what would it be for you? What would it mean to you to get justice for your daughter?
It mean a great deal. People just can't be going around doing that. I mean, you could drive a car and you have an OUI charge and you kill somebody, you go to jail for it. Same thing if you're partying, right? Should be a
involuntary manslaughter.
Should be at least involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, especially
even if she was overdosing and he still put her there, she was still alive.
And
he let her die there.
in the messages, he's the one that said he had the drugs, right? She didn't have it and give it to him. He had it give to her.
He was even looking for some that night, and
I don't think he would give her any.
I guess, Travis, what irks me the most about this whole thing is where she was put. She was 5.5 miles from the hospital.
You're right.
Right straight down Route 3.
3 feet from the road. In the car. I don't know.
I can't believe that no one walking by would have seen her, and I don't know. I'm familiar with the road, but I'm not 100% certain of where she was found.
You know where White House is? The junkyard?
Yes.
Okay, there's the Honda shops across the road, the junkyard's on the... You pull up the road, and just up past you can see. And just up past the road, there's a little turn off, like a dirt turn off, that just kind of goes off and back on the road. On the far end, coming from Route 3, on the far end right there, was the tall grass. And they just pulled in, opened the door, and threw her in the grass 3 feet off the road.
well, I don't know if they actually threw her or they grabbed the feet and their arms and put her there, because when they found her body, her arms were up over her head and the shirt was over her face, and her legs were just there, like somebody put somebody.
Yeah. I'm sorry to even ask this, but was she fully clothed?
Yes.
Right. It's I can't even imagine what your family's going through. I've got 3 daughters of my own and soon to be a grandfather this August. My first grandchild. Thank you. It's almost like you're being victimized all over again just because they're not going to clear this case, or it feels like they're not going to be able to clear this case. You already lost your daughter, and now they can't get this wreck off the streets and in prison where he belongs.
It's just her girlfriend and Liz were having arguments since the 14th of July, because they had our RPR, recovery family day picnic at the Mills Park in Augusta, July 14th. Liz was fine that day. She was excellent. She was happy. She was engaging and meeting with new friends and everything. And her girlfriend comes along, high as a kite, begging Liz to come with her. Oh, come on, Liz, please come with me. Liz told her twice, no, not right now. I'm with my family. Talk to you later. Go home. Oh, come on, come with me. She really got mad and told her, no, leave now and I'll talk to you. And that's when she took off with her friends, whatever. And I guess during that week, Liz's money had gotten stolen from her girlfriend for her own addiction, I guess. And Liz was running around looking for money for cigarettes and food down. And her girlfriend, apparently the sober house was doing swabs for her to test for drugs. And Liz doing P-test. I guess her swabs wasn't strong enough, or wasn't doing it for them. Third, I want to say the 23rd or 24th, the girls was doing drugs in the recovery house, in the sober house. And Liz overdosed. She was revived, Narcan, and they both have to leave the next morning.
Wow.
Instead of calling, Liz was out of jail on probation. They should have called probation. They should have called us. They didn't call us. Nobody told us what had happened. I didn't find out about the overdose until after Liz was missing.
And that was...
I did not know anything for weeks.
When did that happen?
About a week before she went missing.
Yeah, I think it was around, I think I got it somewhere in here. 23rd or the 24th of July.
Yeah, that's too bad that, she sounded like she was on her way to recovery and she's in a sober house and, then this happens and...
Yeah, her girlfriend was already doing drugs to begin with.
Yeah.
Liz got out, because Amber and I went to go get Liz on July 5th. We picked her up at the Women's Correctional Center. And as we were driving away, Liz looked back. She says, I'm done with this. I'm not coming back. And I asked her, I said, well, you're going to get your act together and get your shit together and be straight. She says, yes, I am. She had every intention of getting her life together until this girlfriend came. This girlfriend, she spent the night in the nearby park on July 5th, right after I picked her up. When I picked her up, she stayed the night. She stayed the night at the park with her girlfriend. She came home the next morning and was packing for her to go to the sober house. Liz was mentioning that she wanted to help her girlfriend out. The girlfriend was still doing drugs. She wanted to go to the sober house with Liz to clean. And Liz told her, if you're really committed and you want to get clean, I'll see what I can do to help get you in the sober house. And so apparently during that 2-week span, apparently she was supposed to get cleaned up while Liz was doing her own thing in the sober house. Then when she came into the picture, I don't think she gave up the drugs. I think she was still doing the drugs and she took Liz down with her.
Now, where's this girl now? Is she
She's around. She's around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where she is, but she's around.
Have you talked to her since Liz was found and asked her questions?
I talked to her during the time I was looking for Liz. And it was all about her.
There was kind of no concern.
No concern for Liz at all. It was all about her. I mean, the first message I got from her on August 1st, when Liz was missing, when Liz left with that guy. First message, Liz didn't show up for work. She's done. She don't work here no more. It's like, how do you know she's not working there no more? What happened? Let's see if I can find her. Right there. Oh, it's right here. Yeah. Liz isn't working at Dunkin' anymore, and we're not talking. I hope she's okay. And
That's odd.
Yeah, and then I go on telling her I know she called me a couple of days ago and said she's planning to move and she's saving money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at work now. We haven't talked. And I go, okay. Then she goes on, she's doing her own thing. I'm pretty worried. What's she doing? Her own thing.
Yeah.
Own thing.
That's weird.
She said she's going. I said,
do you think she knew what was going on?
Absolutely. I think she did. I honestly think that she was with Liz. And he's covering up for her because she was already on probation. I think, I suspect they were together that night.
Oh. Yeah, she seems to know a lot of information about, Liz isn't coming back to work and all that. Seems odd conversation.
We had mentioned about his dad.
Yes.
Well, we've also had that thought of maybe she was there and maybe she was doing that. So, this could be
Yeah.
one side or the other.
There's a couple of different things that runs through my mind that may have happened. And
that's the thing. There's so much more to these cases than what you see in the newspaper, which is kind of why I like to talk to people and try to get more answers. Just for the general public, What can I do to help you guys as far as Liz's story and helping you guys get closure?
well, laws need to be changed. They really need to be changed. You just can't throw people on the side of the road and leave them there for 3 weeks and not say nothing.
Travis, this is something we feel about the 3 weeks, is that where she was found, as soon as the sun came up, she was pretty much in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
For 3 weeks, she boiled in the August sun. And it didn't rain. And it wasn't cool. It was 80, 90 degrees almost every day that month. I remember it well. We were out hands and knees looking in garbage cans and abandoned cars, down in pits, everywhere. We searched Augusta from head to toe. And to watch this and see this,
I can't imagine what you guys are going through. And at the time, I almost reached out to you back then, but I also don't want to get in the way and offend people or be nosy or whatever. But I did follow her case from the time she went missing till she was found, and I'm glad that our mutual friend Gina was able to get us in touch. Your family's great. Like, I could tell you guys are all just down to earth, good people.
We pretty much stick together.
And you certainly didn't deserve, what happened to Liz and your family.
I know that Liz is not coming home. We all know this. But something like this would really not ever close it. But it would be so much if it could help somebody else. And if this guy could be... we've been told there's no going back to put hands on him. We don't believe that. We've been told that by one of the legislatures. We don't believe that this can be a retroactive thing because nothing has ever been charged.
Right, he's never been charged for anything. He's welcome.
This is where Ann looks and says the law needs to be changed because maybe we could get some sort of a charge if the law was changed to be a higher where he supplied them with drugs.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think they're right, because it's at the time of the incident, whatever the law is at that point. So say if something was illegal or legal 10 years ago and illegal now, I don't think they would be able to go back. But I really believe that there's more to the story, and maybe if that guy's friends and relatives pressure him a little bit to be a man and have some courage and explain what happened, maybe there could be charges down the road.
Well, he's already admitted to 2 or 3 different women what happened. I even had one of his high school sweethearts call me back in December 9th or 6th, 2019. She threw him under the bus. She told me all about this guy, how he beats women up.
And this could be a disgruntled lover too.
Right.
She went on and on and on and on. And she tells me that there was this phone conversation that he had with somebody else that she saved, but the phone got broken, apparently. And now it's supposed to be in a storage, and I've been at her for months to find out if she can give me the phone to help me out or not. And now she says, I don't have nothing. It's like, I have lots and lots of screenshots of her and I back and forth. She called me and she wanted to tell me everything I wanted to hear for a grieving mother. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. I wish there was something I can do. And that's not right. There should be more to this and everything else. And she goes on to tell me that he told this girl what happened. And this girl told this girl what happened. And he told another girl what happened. And he's all pissed off at this girl because that girl went back and talked to that girl about what happened. It's circus.
So, let me ask you this. Since you guys have worked on the investigation yourselves, trying to do your own investigating, have you found ties to Rochester, New York?
I have not.
Did not.
I have not.
Okay.
But
it's awful. Those guys are brutal down there. Is there one last thing you want to say, either, about your daughter and what it would mean for the closure to your family?
yeah, that's what I would like to have happen is fight for the rights of protecting abuse of the corpse. Laws need to change. This is not right.
Yeah, I want to do some research on that too and find out.
I already did, and there's nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
There's so many states that have that law, though. So why can't Maine have that?
But,
well, I hope that you guys do get your justice one of these days, and if there's anything that we can do to help out, we certainly will try, and we'll continue sharing her story.
You get access to all those lawmakers?
What's that?
Do you have access to all those lawmakers?
Not really. No more than anyone else, but we could certainly help you set up a change.org. Have you ever heard that?
no, I'm not.
We've set up for a couple other cases that we'd worked on, get cases reopened, or like in your situation, get signatures to change laws and things like that, which I can help you off air here, get that set up if you want. And it'd be a petition to have something to present to the state, say, hey, I've got 5,000 signatures here of people that want this law changed. Is this something that can be put on as a bill? And I could certainly help you try to set that up if you want.
I'm sure it's not something that happens every day, but it does happen.
It does happen.
It does happen. And I'm just curious how many more people that he may have affected with his dirty drugs.
Yep.
I mean, he's still out there and he's still feeding his dirty drugs to his friends. I don't know. It's sad. It's really, really sad how this all ended up.
That's horrible.
My daughter did not deserve to die.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I'm Tasha, Liz's sister. I'm the middle child.
Hey, Tasha.
I really think her death could have been prevented. You sign yourself into a recovery house. You fill out paperwork. You have emergency numbers that need to be used. Therefore, what would have happened if she overdosed and they wasn't able to Narcan her and she ended up dead at the house? What number would they have called then? I mean,
They had mine.
I just really think it could have been prevented. You don't kick an addict from a recovery house on the street, homeless, with no place to go. What else in their right mind do they think would happen?
Mm-hmm. No, that's exactly right. Like, that's why they have emergency contacts. Situation like that, they should have contacted one of you, so you could have gone.
Or probation officer, When she was on probation, that's violation of probation.
Yep.
Should have called probation, and she wouldn't have been homeless.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
Yep. And I don't believe that. believe the Samaritan law either, 'cause I don't think drug addiction and drug dealers go under that law.
The Good Samaritan law?
Right.
Yeah, but it would help the next person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not us per se.
It's good for
It'll help the next one.
It's good for the innocent people that's willing to call for help.
But if the law was changed, though,
The law has changed.
if it was like a new law, you know, the next person would be, you know, thinking twice, like, oh crap, I can get involuntary manslaughter if I leave this body on the side of the road. You know, it gets other people thinking.
Yeah, and it's too bad because I'm sorry, was she talking?
Yeah. Right.
Well, I was just talking to Tricia about this in the other room. I'm on the phone, but if we did get the law changed, like my grandmother said, if you're in a car and you get into a car accident and your passenger dies, what is that called?
Manslaughter.
Yeah.
Habitual
Vehicle manslaughter. If we could get the law changed, or at least, you know, what was it, Tasha? Involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
It would make the next person, it's not going to help us at all, but it's going to help the next person. They're going to double think, like, oh man, I could go to jail for this. I should at least call somebody and then leave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the law should be named, Liz's Law.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Liz's law.
Good Samaritan. See, when
No way.
I was posting Liz's story on Facebook, there's a woman that is an advocate for the addiction. She's been following my story as well. And she told me herself that she's going to make Liz's story heard. She'll tell Liz's story. And I think that's how she got a lot of these good laws to work for the recovery system.
Nice.
Like somebody anybody does drugs in the recovery house, they don't go to jail, they get extra help. Like, I don't know, something with the police department is involved. But I think she used a lot of my daughter's story to help pass some of these recovery laws.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing.
But my daughter don't get justice, though.
Well, justice will be served to that guy that left her there in the next life, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do.
I really hope that that night, whatever happened between them two, haunts him for the rest of his life. Like, I'm not a hateful person. I'm very loving, like my sister. I would help the next person. I would take the shirt off my back for the next person. But I'm telling you, I hope my sister's face haunts him and he rots in hell. I really do. I am like the most hateful person about him, and I don't even know him. That's pretty sad.
Detective told me to shut my mouth.
Uh-huh. No.
Shut
it now.
We were sitting here, and I said to him, I only going to say this to end this because I have to go to work. There's 3 people that better pray to God that I don't become terminally ill and I only have a month or 2 to live. You can only imagine what else I said. Travis, I won't bother you anymore. I'll let the girls finish up with you.
It was nice meeting you.
You too.
I appreciate you guys talking to me and sharing Liz's story, and I think it's important to get it out there and let people know there are places that can help. And, if you're caught in the situation, as we can only assume he was in the situation where she may have overdosed and he didn't know what to do and panicked and left her. That's giving him way too much credit, probably. But if he was in that situation, bring her to the hospital. You know, give her a fighting chance. He goes on living his life. I don't know. Does he have family?
Yeah.
Children?
Yeah, I don't think he has any children. I think he's got, I think he's got siblings. I think he's got 2 brothers. Is that children? No, I don't think he has any children. He's got siblings, and he lost his dad back in October. And I think I don't have any compassion for him at all. I'm sorry. I don't, because he lost his dad.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. And it's unfortunate if you think that his father may have been involved. That's one less person to maybe come forward.
Right. Like I said, I think his dad, or both the girlfriend and the dad helped him put Liz there.
Well, I hope that one of these people see and hear this, and if you guys know anyone that knows these people, have them share it with them, and
Oh yeah.
and maybe they'll see it.
Well, I hope this turns out pretty good. I mean, we're kind of.
No, you did great. I know it's tough to, have a story in your head, something that you're living. This is a daily struggle for you, and then to try to get all those emotions tied up into a hour-long conversation, I know is difficult.
Yeah, I had my story all figured out and all set and everything. I even had my notes, and I still can't follow them.
You did great.
Oh, crap. It's like, he picked, all I can say is, he picked her up. He told, they were communicating in a text for a couple days. He was planning on picking her up, taking her out to his house. They were going to save a quarter, whatever that means, to get high with. I mean, I got that in a screenshot. I don't know why the court won't use that. That's what I don't know.
It's absolutely frustrating, and my heart breaks for you and your family, and it's not anything I can say, just that the reason why I'm doing this is to try to help people like you that have a story to tell and want to share the story and let other people know what the truth is. That's why we can do this, is to try to help families do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think if you went on my page and read everything that I wrote, that pretty much tells you everything that I want to tell you.
I appreciate you guys talking to me tonight, and I hope that, this will help you at least get your story out. And you guys have a good night, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
If you or someone you know struggles with drug addiction, please call 1-800-662-HELP. That number again, 1-800-662-4357. Thank you for joining us tonight and listening to Liz's story. In the show notes, we'll provide you with a link so you too can sign the petition to help the laws get changed in Maine and in other states. Those responsible should be held accountable.
For 5-year-old Taylor Williams led investigators to Alabama this week.
So we have some breaking news from Florida. An arrest has been made in connection.
After years of agony, a glimmer of hope for the family.
Investigators spent hours searching through this house off Pennsylvania Avenue.
What could be a major development in the search for missing Alabama teenager.
Tonight, a stunning twist in the search for Taylor.
Somebody out there knows something.
They want to lay him to rest their way, not by somebody else's way.